Hey guys, it's Bridget with San Diego Seed Company, and we're on the farm, and it is a beautiful summer evening, and I'm standing next to my very beautiful dahlias. If you haven't heard me talk about dahlias, well, I'm surprised you haven't, because I feel like I go on and on and on about them. It's a flower that I've recently fallen in love with. They're so much fun to grow, and they're very different but very easy to grow here in Southern California, zone 9 and 10. And I'm going to talk about everything you need to know to grow them and what makes them a perfect variety for our really hot climate. But before I do that, But before I do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Before I do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you're notified anytime we put out a video. Now, if you guys grow in zone 9 and 10, you know it gets wicked hot here. And not everything does really well here. In fact, some varieties of flowers just won't cut it in our heat. But what's really neat about these beautiful flowers is these have been growing on our Ramona farm in an area that gets well over 100 for many weeks out of the summertime. It's really incredible. We weren't sure how well that they were going to do out here. It was definitely a little bit of a gamble this first year, but we planted them out and they have done splendidly, despite the fact that they're pretty neglected and they don't get a lot of extra love, but they're pumping out tons and tons of blooms that we get to use in our kitchen. We cut them and make beautiful arrangements and we get to enjoy them, and they're really keeping up despite the fact that it is so hot. Now, what are dahlias and how can you grow them in your garden? Well, dahlias actually come in a couple different forms. You can grow them from seed, or you can grow them from tuber or bulb, which is the way in which we sell them. So you actually think of it kind of like a potato. You get a potato tuber, same thing. These are actually in the same family, which makes them really neat. You plant them in the garden, they sprout. You get beautiful sprouts like these, and they will eventually put out tons of blooms. Now, the important things to note with dahlias is that they do not like the cold, so they do need to be planted in the springtime after the threat of any cold or frost has passed. And then the biggest mistake that people actually make with dahlias is it's kind of counterintuitive. They really don't like to be wet for too long. So that's what makes them a really great plant for our climate, is they can stand the heat and they're really relatively low water plants. In fact, we lost some of our tubers from rotting, which is very common. You water too often and too long and it actually rots the tubers in the ground. They don't send up any plant material and you don't get any blooms. We learned that early on. We cut back our watering by more than half, and we have all of these blooms to thank for that change in our irrigation. So how often should you be watering? Well, that really depends on a lot of factors, but just to give you a sense, here on our farm, we're actually only watering once a week, which is pretty incredible considering it's late July in zone 9 in a very hot area in Ramona, California. That's a really awesome flower to be able to grow with that little water. Now, these are actually going to grow, and we will grow these and then we dig up the tubers because we actually sell the tubers. But for those of you who are not trading or selling the tubers, you can just leave them in the ground in zone 9 and 10 because we don't get any hard frost and they will come back year after year. That is a really neat plant that doesn't take a lot of work and gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Now, dahlias come in tons of different varieties. This is our Vic Jessie. If you come down here, this is My Love. We've got more, and actually, keep coming. We've got these beautiful ones down here that haven't bloomed yet. But what is awesome about these guys is how beautiful the color of their foliage is. So it's a really stunning, deep, dark purple color. And this is actually going to be, I believe it's the Melanie Harmony. Yes, the Melanie Harmony. So these will be very beautiful pink blooms on this dark purple foliage that is really a showstopper in any garden. So if you're looking for a relatively easy to grow flower, dahlias are definitely it. You just need to know a few key things. And if you still don't know how to grow them, check out our website. We have a dahlia growing guide that'll show you exactly how to grow them. They're really not that hard. And we think everybody in Southern California should have dahlias in their garden.